Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast.
Guest starring with me tonight is my main man Elliot O'Neill on the bass. My man Ben Calloway, Cheesecake Calloway on keys.
I wish I had my keys with me so I could clink them.
And I'm your host, Sexual Gratification Rosewell.
Oh yeah, all night.
With you
all night.
All night.
All night.
All night?
All night.
All
I
right.
just keep saying all night, so he's got that on the intro sequence. All night.
And coming straight out of the dank and into your ear holes is the Simpsons Index. Yes,
That's what people have. They have ear holes.
Pardon?
That's what people have. They have ear holes.
And that's how we get into the people, into their minds via the ear hole. With our 23rd episode of the podcast. Hi, I am your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, and joining me in the dank this week is...
I'm the Wolfman on the midnight shift.
And...
You want to know my name? I dropped my name tag into the fire. I'll get it out. Ow. Ow. Ow.
If I had a girlfriend, she'd kill me.
Thank God I don't.
And yeah, we, the classic trio of BT, EJ, and Danny here, and we just watched season 23, episode 12, Mo Goes From Rags to Riches.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
what did you think?
Oh my God.
Didn't like it.
It was
How could
very
you not like it?
unpleasant.
I mean, a lot of ways.
Very disappointed. I thought, like, wow, this is the first Simpsons episode I've seen in, like, over a week. I was stoked. I was really pumped. And it's just a downer. It looks like one of those, you know when you watch shitty fan versions of cartoons? It feels like a fan doing a version pretending to be good when it's actually... Because all the timing is out, all the voices don't sound right, all the pacing's weird, all the jokes are... I'm sorry. I could rant about this for a long time. Let's swap over to the beach.
Hi. What do you want to know?
What did you think?
Oh, what did I think? I thought it was really disappointing. Like, okay, to quickly summarize, this is the story of how everyone's drinking at Moe's, having a good time. They're all like, haha, Moe's best friend is that rag there. And it turns out that is his best friend. But let's find the origin story of that rag.
Narrated by Jeremy Irons himself.
They set up this interesting story. Not particularly interesting, but a little bit interesting. And then... of all the characters to cut through and find out more about, boom, it's like, why not the fucking dish rags? Yeah, that's what we're gonna write. You think we're gonna choose the character and flesh them out? Yeah, right.
It's another episode like the one where Bart got an interest in falconry, where it's like, this is the premise that no one asked for.
Yeah.
And sure, you could say, like, oh, they get attached to a lemon tree. What kind of stupid premise is that? But in this one, yeah, kind of interesting premise. Let's see where a rag went through history. But they fucking...
Don't compare it to the...
falconry?
Falconry.
Falconry.
Oh, falconry.
No, don't compare this to the fucking lemon tree, because they justified that. They said it's a part of the town's history, and as the backbone, as kids, the backbone of our economy. That justified that shit.
Part of soul.
Part of soul.
Part of soul.
Unless you somehow forgot.
No.
As if you don't say that to yourself 3 times every night before bed.
For real, man.
Now, this was... I mean, I feel so bad for Jeremy Irons.
I know.
Like, I am going to be in the episode of The Simpsons. What am I going to do? You're going to be a rag. Jeremy Irons will kill himself now.
Oh man, I killed that last episode. I just remembered where it was like, this episode is a part of us all. A part of us all. Oh, yes, I'm the best. I'm the best.
You're the best.
Stop, we'll have to pay for it. So the other thing that makes this story all the more messy is they keep having these interjections of a Bart and Milhouse breaking up storyline, which,
dumb.
look, out of the bat doesn't make sense. So anyway, they're like, they go to tell the backstory of Moe's rag, and it goes back to, I don't know, France, 300 some years ago. And
ancient Egypt as well.
Yeah, it moves through a bunch of places. Ancient Egypt, Persia, Spain, back to the USA, then to Mount Everest, then back to the USA again. And all the while this is happening, they keep cutting back to Bart and Milhouse, who are having this little tiff over Bart going, I don't know, Milhouse is like the rag.
Yeah, no, I think it's literally a rag for a best friend. That's worse than Milhouse.
Yeah.
And then Milhouse is like, bye.
I have a spine all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't nearly in character for him.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a good enough or wacky enough reason for him.
Well,
for him
as a plot point, that's fine, but that can be an A plot point. That's a fair enough thing to follow.
But it didn't fit in this episode, which was already, with the rag story, hard to follow anyway, because it kept jumping from country to country to have a scene, and then kept interjecting with the present day for this stupid Bart Milhouse thing.
It's a dumb clip show. It's
Yeah.
not... It's just, here's a bunch of sequences of stuff throughout history, still featuring The Simpsons, and it's just...
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I think almost none of those were needed. It was all just chuck a couple of gags in here. Why not?
This episode was 2 episodes that they didn't finish writing, that they just fucking fudged together. Like, and I'm all down with, like, when they do the Bible stories, or when they do those, like...
They've done it a bunch of times, and usually it's interesting enough to not to forgive, you know?
You know, because they're usually individual stories being told succinctly.
Yeah.
So, like, where you've got Marjorie telling famous stories in the library, or the Bible stories, they're usually... It's almost like a Treehouse Horror in the sense that it's 3 small stories, and even if you don't like one, there's probably one there that you do like. This is just one ongoing story that... You're sitting there going, it's the story of a rag.
Yeah.
I don't
They
care.
really are. Did I talk about the pacing yet?
The pacing?
I don't think I did it on camera. Pacing is fucking weird as
We
shit.
have a camera?
We have a kitchen?
Hello to our Periscope viewers.
Whoop.
I sort of did actually at the start, where I was like, it felt really strange to watch. Something about the pacing doesn't feel like a Simpsons episode. Everybody talks slightly slower than you would expect them to talk in a Simpsons episode, where you tend to have a certain speed.
As though they were trying to fill
Trying to
30
space it
minutes
out.
of
Quite possible. Or perhaps...
content
Ha!
without 30 minutes of content.
Yeah, so that was sort of unsettling. Especially characters that normally talk quite fast. The clever ones like Lisa. The anxious ones like Bart and Milhouse. Yeah, I know, the whole episode felt like it was in slow motion.
Yeah.
I am on painkillers. It could actually I just maybe it started in slow motion.
Everything's all slowed
Could be.
down for you
suddenly.
there, Danny.
Great. Before I just used to have to cut stuff in editing, now I'm going to have to learn to speed things up too.
Don't worry, we just want to party.
Damn it. My shoes.
So, look, just dissecting this episode a little bit. Okay, so the start thing with Homer, like, going, and that's why I don't believe in religion. Derp.
Yeah, a bit strange.
Bit
never
derpy,
remember it.
and then...
Very out of... It didn't go anywhere as well, you know? It was just a cut, pasted
Quimby
in
just
scene.
like, you were meant to read the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Homer was like, I thought I did. So dumb. And then Mayor Quimby gets accused of having an affair yet again, and then all of a sudden... hit the jukebox, it's a Lionel Richie song time.
Yeah, I even have as a note Lionel Richie W2F.
Yeah.
Because Lionel Richie's even in the background at one point. It's like, okay, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's the Jeremy Irons episode. Why don't they play his famous hit? Which, of course, was Danny?
Jeremy Irons.
Get it out of the way because
Die Hard? Was it Die Hard? It was Die Hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, the third hard. He was he was the second. He was the second Hans Gruber. He was Tuba.
Yeah. Tuba Gruber. Oh my gosh. Yep.
Yeah. Which is my favourite Die Hard still to this
Simon
day.
Oh, it is a good Die Hard.
And so, Bart Milhouse Divide kicks off in the bar, and then Mo gets teased about his rag, and, like, everyone's just teasing everyone, and then the rag just all of a sudden breaks out into this soliloquy.
Talking. Man, what the fuck? Like, that whole... clearly they're going into this stupid bit. They're like, we can surprise you guys. It's not actually about any of the characters. Ha ha. Fuck you for paying attention to that first off. It doesn't matter. But also, The Simpsons and suddenly a talking rag is like dropping the character of the entire series.
It almost feels like he should go, well, it's a living. Wah, wah.
Yeah. If it was like a throwaway gag, you could forgive it. They do that kind of shit in like Halloween episodes and now and then in normal episodes as a throwaway gag. The little green guy that only Homer can see?
Yeah.
Osmodiar.
Yeah. It just is there for as long as he needs to be.
Yep.
And
this is a whole episode dedicated to a fucking talking rag.
And the problem is, like, there are only a handful of good jokes in this. And, like, the most of it is just, and then I was in France, where I was loomed out of the wool of psycho sheeps, and then
Yeah.
got that
Yeah, what
weird-
the hell
Homer
is the
went
point
out
of
to
any of
battle
that?
because of
No.
some...
Then we got that weird Mr. Burns bit where he just kills a bunch of sheep, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for sheep.
Yeah, and it wasn't a good joke behind it as well. It's just, oh, I could be a good person. No, I'm going to start killing sheep.
No, it's more labor than that. It's like, could be a good person and go 3 steps to the left, but instead I'm going to murder all the... Like, I stopped carrying 20 words ago.
Yeah. I mean, and it's sort of weird, is it, like, you wonder, am I being too picky because it is a later Simpsons? But no, these jokes just don't have good setups, and they
No,
don't
like,
feel like jokes.
If you were having fun, you wouldn't care if it was stupid. You'd still be having fun. But you're
Yeah.
not. It's just like, like, oh, okay, whatever.
So Marge, ancient France Marge, is weaving the rag out of Psycho Sheep's wool,
Yep.
and then Mr. Burns steals it, and then he gets hung with it, and then beaten like a pinata for some reason.
Quick interjection, shotgun the band name Psycho Sheep Wool.
Psycho Sheep wool, kiss kiss say. Then it ends
Ba
up
ba
in
ba
Persia.
ba 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 ba.
Oh,
Better run away, man.
too much nostalgia for me, man.
Remember the nostalgia? I remember.
I remember.
And yeah, then it ends up in Persia. They do some stupid storyline with Nelson and his 50 wives.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
which is the
there was
rip-
no reason for them to do Alibaba in the 53s. There was no reason at all.
First they go from like Alibaba in the 43s, and then take a weird jump to 1001 Nights, and you're just like,
Yep.
are we just covering history, like actual, not history, but like fictional history now? It's just,
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, showing how this rag moved through time, and like, which is a clever idea, but they fucking undo it by continuously cutting back to the present with this storyline with Barton Milhouse that has nothing to do with it.
That's boring. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't forgive you. Here's another way. I'm sorry. Still don't forgive you. Like, okay.
And then the last one, oh, I'm sorry. I'll have Dredrick Tatum punch you. And then they cut away so they don't show Dredrick Tatum punching him because child abuse.
As though animating Dredrick Tatum would cost too much or something. It's like,
Oh no, I think it's a child abuse thing.
yeah, because in the show where we've watched a child be strangled by his father repeatedly, that would be going too far.
Man,
See who
that
objects.
Mary's Burger. Not to like drop brand names in your show.
No, I've
Mary's in
often
Newtown.
actually been thinking that we should plug the places that we eat from each night
seems
because,
fair.
like,
We do. It does happen every night.
so yeah, tonight we had burgers from Mary's Newtown and it was
They were
fucking amazing.
It was
I
very
have
good.
no hesitation in calling it the best burger I've ever eaten.
That's a
Ever.
big claim. I don't think
I've gone to a lot of burger joints. I've been looking for like good burgers lately.
And this is a burger that, you know, traveled a few kilometers down the road to get to you and was still
insane.
good.
It is insane.
And you know, when it got here, it didn't tell us its life story.
I paid like $25 for a burger before
Now-
at like classy indie hipster bullshit burger joints, and this, dude,
Simple.
it's just like I've been wasting my life. It is like I've been wasting my life.
Now this is a tasty burger.
So yeah, Mary's Newtown. We wholly recommend it. Get the Mary's Burger. That's Mary's Newtown. Available on Deliveroo and Uber Eats.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
I call
Good
it
work.
selling out, but it's legit enjoyment. So
Yeah, man.
and no one's paying us.
No one's
yet.
paying us. We're just talking about how amazing our
Food.
life was.
No, see, that's the
after
thing.
that.
If Mary's were to advertise us, we'd get more benefit than if we were to
That's true.
advertise Mary's. Like,
Very one-sided relationship
yeah.
that doesn't exist. But, you know.
So yeah, anyway, so does the whole stupid thing in Persia, then goes to Spain, and then goes to Italy, where it was part of the creation painting, Seven Stages of Man, or whatever it was.
The Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, and
Way to remember every other name for it except the main one.
yeah, right.
Now, did you skip over? Oh, no, it doesn't happen yet. The where they climb Everest with it for some reason, and you get comic book guy going, "Worst climbing Everest ever," and it's like, no, that's so dumb.
hacky, so hacky, dude. Yeah,
I'll say it simply. I want to slap that writer to death.
whoever it was.
Whoever it was, just slap till they.
Find that out.
Till they're
Please
dead.
cue the music.
Welcome to Googling on the Simpsons Index, a podcast where we Google on the podcast. This is the podcast, and here's your podcast hooper. I've forgotten how English works.
I'm Daniel from Late Nights with MIDI Interfaces. We're just taking a brief sabbatical as our tech support team struggles to resolve the issue. Now over to you, Elliot, with the weather.
Thank you, Dan. Now it's a sunny day in old Sydney town, and it's fucking terrible. Fuck sun. It's so bad. Mo Goes from Rags to Riches was written by Tim Long, that fucker who wrote Devil Wears Nada.
Well, that's just 2 reasons to slap him to death.
Fuck you, Tim Long, you're terrible.
Just grab you what I assume is like the blue collar and just slap you till you die.
Yeah. So before it went to Everest, it was part of a Confederate flag, got burned by Dr. Hibbert, and then it was rag soup.
Who hasn't been? I don't brag about it, jeez.
Yeah, rag soup that got Homer's corn in it. Again, these are jokes that it's like, oh, that was kind of gross, not really funny.
You know what would be a better bit is like, here's a history of pubs throughout the ages, narrated by a rag, and I'd watch that and go, that's dumb, but at least not the history of the rag.
Yeah, or the history of Moe's building, like how it was part of American.
Right. Yeah.
And then you've got a theme, rather than just it jumping from country to country for no fucking reason.
And just a bunch of bad jokes tied together with a rag.
Even
if it is voiced by Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, and, the performance was good, but it's lost on the terribleness of the episode.
Yeah. There's no memorable bit. You're not like, in Lion King, long live the king.
Yeah, yeah.
Any kind of quotable moments from the rag, you're just like, well, you're a rag, and I'm bored.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's jump to the questionnaire. Hey, Danny, what's the time?
Let me just
What
find out for
time is it?
you. I usually wear a watch, but at the moment, I seem to have...
Questionnaire time.
Oh my god. It's my favorite time.
So, yeah, storyline, it was a A-B storyline.
Yep.
That didn't work.
It was like an A storyline on Venus, then a B on like Jupiter.
Yeah.
It was like they were in no way related, or even they were so far you could cut one out and put it somewhere else, it'd be fine.
So you haven't seen it before, Shag? You've seen it, Peach?
I feel like I have. I may have been drunk.
Yeah, I've only watched it the once because I remembered how bad this episode was. So, yeah, can pretty much say that this episode hasn't influenced our life with any quotes or whatever.
No.
If you could put it in a playlist, what theme would it be?
Fuck off.
By the way, I've altered the questionnaire slightly. Just slightly. That's one of the new questions. Wackiness, benefit, detriment, present or absent. Where does it fall in this quadrant?
Well, way to give a quadrants now.
Yeah.
I thought it was just comment on the wacky. The talking rag is really the wackiest part, and that's a framing device. I want to say it's not that wacky because it's a framing device for everything else. Just everything else is boring and stupid.
Yeah, it exists, and it's kind of to the detriment.
It's almost like, there's that bit at the end of the origins of Lisa's saxophone where it goes, next we'll tell the origins of Mazzie's pacifier.
Yeah.
As a joke, and this is something worse than that they've made to an episode.
Yeah. So the heart. Did you feel the heart between Bart and Lisa?
I did not feel the love tonight.
Way to quote Lion King again. So yeah, no heart between Bart and Milhouse, no heart between Mo and his rag.
It thinks it has it. It
really does.
Like, one of my notes is, it's trying,
Yeah, like when Marge goes to get the rag, that's kind of a sweet thing, but it's so, like, at that point you're so bored with the episode that it doesn't fucking matter.
Yep. I concur.
Ultimately, we know the answer. Did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons? No!
Wait, do that again.
No!
I was a little flat, I'm sorry.
Want to watch it again?
No? Wait, do it again.
Want to watch it again? No!
Better.
Alright, let's rank this thing. Kick it off, Danny. On our 6-point scale, which goes from best to worst: cubic zirconia, gold, silver, bronze, participant, or failure.
That's only 5 points.
That's 6.
That's 6?
He's on painkillers, man. Rankings.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was distracting. Okay. It's not a failure, but off the top of my head, I haven't seen worse. So I'm gonna say it's Participant. It feels like, just the way it's written feels like a background episode. It doesn't feel like a real episode. The weird slowness, the character's voices being slightly different. That's just from age, I'm sure, but it contributes to that surreal sort of vibe.
That
and
not
then,
quite being what it should be.
Yeah, and then the fast cutting between the scenes, just having a talking donut, talking fucking everything. It was unconvincing as an episode, and it felt uncomfortable to watch. You know, I'm changing to a failure. Sorry, I did not enjoy that.
That's fair, man.
Your turn.
Because I was Participant till about the halfway point, and I can't remember what the tipping point was, but it was just point like, no, this sucks. I'm so bored, and I don't care about anything, and I'd rather stub my toe right now.
Yeah.
It's, yes, a failure from me. Just like, failure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, I feel like I
for
need to
what-
insert another 2 coins.
It went from like a Participant to like a high failure to just a no, you belong in these dregs.
Yeah.
Get to the 7th layer, you fucktard.
I agree. This is a failure. It fails Jeremy Irons, and it fails The Simpsons. It fails storytelling, and fuck it, it fails Mo. Like, it really does. Like,
The Mo storyline could be very good.
exactly.
You think of Mo trying to impress Helen Hunt, so he's like, Homer ends up in prison, and Mo's trying to live the sweet life. It's a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least I remember it being great. We haven't ranked it yet, but
Coming
Very
up
good
on
Mo's.
episode 72 of the Simpsons Index. I'm going to have to hold myself to that now, aren't I?
I mean, it's a long way off. That's like 50 episodes.
Haha, I have a year's worth of time to forget about it. So yeah, easy failure for me. Failure across the board.
Boom.
Okay, and coming up next, I don't have my notes, so I will say what episode that's going to be afterwards.
Okay.
Boom.
I'm ready for you, bro.
Bum, bum.
Oh, favorite music.
Got a little more experimental than that, man. We're all
Oh.
like, skip up, bop, hop, do,
I love that jam.
flip it up, da,
Love that jam.
ha, 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 jam,
Love that jam.
Strawberry
Love that
jam.
jam. Love that jam.
and out. Because I want to talk about Belinda Carlisle for a while.
Belinda Carlisle.
Yep.
Heaven on Earth Girl.
Maybe? I don't know all her songs I like too. But I like them.
What songs did she sing?
I'll play it in my head.
It was
Summer
Heaven is Blood.
Rain. And,
Oh, love Summer Rain.
And that other one.
Yeah.
Darling, leave a light on for me.
And we are back, and oh my god, I'm an idiot. I didn't have my notes. It's a season 15 episode, and it's called I Annoyed Gruntbot, aka I Dobot, aka the one where Homer enters a robot rumble in a robot suit while Lisa keeps killing cats. Guys, what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty damn average.
Oh, okay. I thought it was pretty good.
You know what? The
Pretty good.
good. The A story with Homer being the robot, yeah, that's fun. The B story with Lisa constantly killing cats is just filler nothing, and it's so boring. So it's a weird mix. I feel overall more entertained than last time, but less entertained than I should be. This is one of those ones where you spend like the first period before the ad break wondering, where are we going here? Because I mean, it's Bart is riding around with Milhouse on like a bike he's pimped out with a new kit that Milhouse bought. And then all of a sudden the bullies have 10-speed bikes and like, oh, well, you suck because you've never been since a 10-speed bike, even though yours has
it
flame
wasn't a
decal.
natural jump between that because they steal the tassels off his newly decoded bike and then they escape uphill and Bart's bike can't go in a low enough gear enough or whatever to catch up to
However
them.
gears work, I don't know.
So therefore he wants a 10-speed bike now, and his newly decoded bike that he wants is garbage, and
Yeah, and then so Homer tries to build one, and it breaks down. So, oh, Homer, you're not a dad, and you just bought me this bike, but it's not well assembled.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, he has that moment, setting up, the plot of the episode where he's like, oh my god, Homer buys him the 10-speed bike, and then Homer goes, assembly fee, why you, and chooses not to have the bike shop assemble it, and Therefore, that leads to Bart being like, Dad, come on. And which sort of sets up Bart's sort of feelings for him for the episode, that he's not that handy. And thus proving it when he goes, the bike seems to be assembled. And then Bart goes for a ride, gets a little too cocky, and then the bike starts breaking down because Homer
gets
isn't
a little
handy.
too cheeky.
Oh, because he flushed his cheeks.
Butt cheeks, just in case you thought they were face cheeks.
Actually, during that bit, I love that line of the bully, no one does that to Dolph. No one. Like, it does just, like, overstate the underimportance of his character. I like those jokes.
It's true. Of all the bullies, Dolph is probably the least important.
Yeah. So before that, anyway, was when when Snowball 2, the cat we know and love,
dies.
Pardon?
Canonically. As a dead...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really make it real, and like Bart pushes his old bike out in the street, Dr. Hibbert crashes into it, and then he's like, "Ooh, I better keep my eyes on the road and off my Cool in the Gang air freshener."
No,
I didn't like that joke.
It's worse than that. It's when he hits the bike, he goes, "Halle Berry."
Oh,
I'm
wow.
a black character, and I'm going to say a black actress's name. And then, yeah, they got the Cool in the Gang. It's like, you are doubling down on bad racially linked jokes. I'm going to say it's racist. I'm just going to say it's a racially linked joke that is so painfully weak.
Yeah, it'd be like if they had a token Mexican character, if it was like, "Oh, I'd better keep my eyes off on the road and off my mariachi band air freshener."
You mean like Bumblebee Man?
Yeah, there you go.
At least Bumblebee Man is never presented as being Mexican. He is the exaggeration. He's the hyperbole of Mexican sitcoms.
I know you meant hyperbole, but I want to
hyperbole.
go play Hyperbole now.
Well, that's a great song. Hyperbole by Tool. Look it up.
Oh, really? I thought it was hyperbole.
Shut up. How about that, Elliot? How about shut up?
It's totally one of those words that looks like another word. Like psycho looks like psycho.
Or therapist looks like the rapist.
Yeah. Hibbert, gotta keep my eyes on the road, and then starts driving off, and then hits Snowball 2. Have a very heartfelt funeral for Snowball 2, and there was some good material out of that. I don't know whether or not I liked Marge's whole grieving over her guinea pig Cinnamon.
Sorry, we're both wrong. It's parabola.
Oh, parabola.
Or parabola, depending on where you come from in the world. Shut up, Elliot.
I don't actually know if that's how it's pronounced.
Neither do I.
I was just being a dick then.
But yeah, I will let the cinnamon bit pass because it is kind of funny. She's like, "Don't worry, you'll get over it like I did with the guinea pig Cinnamon." Cinnamon. It's like
Should have been me who chewed through the extension cord.
which is wacky enough to be funny. I kind of like that.
And so Bart's bike breaks, and I liked the whole spring-loaded first aid kit joke when Homer comes to his rescue. It's really dumb because it's one of those jokes like, I've got brain damage, where like you can see the joke coming from a mile away.
Yeah, but it also feels like something he would have invented in the Edison episode. Like it's not something he's meant to have bought. It's something he's meant to have made. Again, proving that he's not a practical person. Yeah, it's funny. It's a good bit.
There we go. It's helping the story along.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, also for those listeners who are wondering why Danny has not contributed, he has left to fight robot Nazi ninjas in Japan. So that's what he's busy doing, and is certainly not asleep on the couch to do his pain meds.
Yeah, he got inspired partway through the episode of Homer dressing up as a robot, and he's like, that's how I can defeat the robot Nazi ninjas.
He just looked out the window at the sky and said, "The people need me."
I know what I must do now.
And he just left, and was like,
Yep.
I mean, I know you've got a career outside this podcast, man, but it's mildly rude to just save the world in the middle. You haven't got it now? Anyway, continue.
So yeah, bringing us into Act 2, where, so this is where the story feels like it gets started good and proper, where they're watching Robot Rumble on TV, and, like, yeah, the Robot Rumble thing comes in only at this point, but to be fair, they set up Homer's bad handyman thing at the start. So, like, when Homer goes, "Do you think I could build a robot for us to battle in Robot Rumble?" Bart's like, "As if."
Plus, Homer has a background in this. He's built the spice rack that fell down. There's that great line from Itchy and Scratchy Land where it's like, "See that stuff inside, Homer? That's why your robot never worked."
Yeah.
And there's something else I can't remember now. I had it chambered. Shit. Just me. There's more.
Yeah.
The barbecue brick pit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
grill. What
That's
the
a
hell is that?
fine-looking barbecue pit. Why doesn't mine look like that?
And yes, and all the other fart art that followed.
When
So
it's
Lisa and Marge are at the
Pet place.
pet adoption rescue place, and there's a bad joke with her, like, how to rear children book. It's written by a surfing rabbi. That was really weird.
It was just like, am I supposed to laugh at surfing rabbis? Because that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Like, show me, like, I would watch that.
Maybe it was just during that period in 2004 where surfing rabbis who wrote child rearing books were all the go. So anyway, aside from the surfing rabbi, I do like the gag where she's going through judging the cats, but she does say 2 Siamese, and that felt weird, didn't it?
Contextually fine.
Yeah.
Isolated, it would be odd.
Yeah, and yeah.
Take that, people from Siam.
Yeah. 2 pretentious, infected eye, clearly a skunk.
I do like clearly a stuff.
Yeah. And then, yeah, get Snowball 3, and then...
Sorry, just to interject. Clearly a skunk is a little bit at a detract from the conveyor belt humor. You know, like I, bold, rat, fine, rat, fish, rat.
Yeah, head.
Clearly a skunk.
So, yeah, Homer builds the robot, builds a robot, and the first one, I love it. He goes, "Yeah, I'm finished. It looks like a heap of shit." And then he turns it on, and it immediately, like, breaks and then throws its own head at him. Like, I love that joke. Like, it is so bad that it works, but its
first instinct is to throw a vulnerable part at you.
Yeah, to destroy itself and hurt you in the process.
A little bit RoboCop 2, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they keep trying to make RoboCop 2, and then it keeps malfunctioning and killing itself. It's kind of sad, really.
Yeah, wow.
There's no jokes there. Anyway.
But yeah, what was Grandpa's advice there? If you can't...
I literally have written here, Grandpa bit, question mark?
Oh yeah, if you can't build a robot, then be a robot.
Yeah, which I can't decide if that's great or stupid.
I thought it was great because he does end up being...
It does echo the kind of... Wait, what was it my father said? If you ever find yourself back in time for some reason, don't touch anything.
Yeah.
The oddly specific advice.
Where it could only be used in a wacky storyline.
Well, it's like when I got married, my dad's only advice to me was, Ben, don't fuck with the space-time continuum. Which is weird, because I'm not married. Something went wrong there.
Now. So yeah, he builds the basic mailbox shell with the hammer.
Yep.
Gives it a remote with 2 buttons that go and stop, Bart still buys it.
No, like he's pressing the button, just go.
Yeah. I didn't really like the whole that just sent electric shockwaves up my butt bit. I don't know. It felt weird. Like
it felt like it was a joke that was edited for content, as though Bart was then going to push the button and Homer was going, "Ooh, my prostate," or something. But that's where it felt like it was leaning, and it just didn't. So it either got cut or trimmed back, or there was just never a joke there, and that was it.
Yeah, it sort of just I don't know. I think it really didn't need to be explained what the buttons actually did.
Yeah,
like just Bart going go 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 and Homer going ha ha ha, that does nothing, sitting back while he's drinking the martini at the end. I think that would have been enough.
Yeah, I do like how he says, yeah, and then Chief Nakahoma did 3 victory laps and pretended to drink a beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just having the buttons go stop, and yeah, you as a viewer you're like, well, how does he know which one he's pressing? But you also don't care.
No.
Yeah, you're having enough fun to not care.
Well, and that's sort of what you like about Bart in this episode, that, yeah, he's having fun with this robot, and, yeah, a little bit of a, oh, where's my dad? You know, he should be here for all these victories sort of thing. But, you know, it's fine in the context of it all. Yeah,
I think that works. You get the emotional response from the story, even though they're never together. It's the idea that this thing, it's Lisa and the pony over again. It's just a robot this time.
But yeah, and sort of a bit like the spelling episode where, like, there is sort of, a bit of a Homer not being there thing, but it doesn't seem to faze the kids too much, but it doesn't really matter. It's
more the concept, as in he built it, so that's his expression, and being there is just a extra bit.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Help him press go?
Yeah. So anyway, before all that, Snowball 3... dies in the fish tank. And then
Which is weird because it is not in that fish tank long enough to drown. I'm sorry.
I don't know. She was singing that terrible hokey pokey thing for
checked
ages.
the breathing length of a cat, and it is more than that. It's at least 45 seconds.
But yeah, and in as much as they had a quickie death to that cat, they had a quickie funeral where Bart was like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, whatever. Let's go fight robots. And like,
I think that's the feeling of the audience at that point.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this B story. Back to robot fights.
Just to, cap off the B story, let's just discuss that in full. So then they go to the pet shelter again, and she goes, oh, how about this one? Its name is Coltrane. I like Coltrane.
Immediately dies.
Yep. And they spent a little bit too long on it. I thought it should have been a bit quicker getting the cat home, and then... Because I do like the joke of Lisa, going, let's hear some of your music from your namesake, and then the cat just immediately, wow, and then out the window.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I thought that was the funniest death.
When she's giving the eulogy of, will always have that ride home from
the animal shelter.
That's all they got.
Yeah.
Yep. So then, of course,
she goes back to the shelter, and they go, oh, no, hey, the cats would rather take a chance in the back room before you.
That feels cut down as well, because it's just, they arrive, they cut it down immediately. It feels like there was meant to be a lead into that. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, I did like that joke.
It works as a joke. It's like, whoa, they'd rather take their chance with a needle. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then, she's sitting on the stoop. And
and crazy cat lady comes in out of the shadows looking like the angel for a second, and then hocks a cat at her, and she's like, no, I'm not meant to have this cat. And there's a fairly decent Glenn bit where he Gil. I've been drinking shit. At least I'm awake. Steers away, hits a tree, and it's like, oh, old Gil is gonna get insurance claim for this. It's fine. It's okay. But
he says, I'll be eating food tonight.
I do like oh, Gil.
And then she goes, save money on the dish bowl. We're gonna call you Snowball too. And then of course Principal Skinner shows up, and that's when I don't like this story.
Yeah, I mean, even then I was bored by this story. But
really? Because I thought it was pretty 50-50 good and bad coming out of it.
Maybe I'm just, because I already knew how it ended.
Yeah,
it's
fair
jading
enough.
me. But yeah, then Principal Skinner walks and goes, calling it Snowball too. Well, isn't that a little convenient? She's like, that's right, Principal Tanzarian. It's like, wah, wah.
But yeah, I mean, if I was ranking that story alone, I might like Participant or Bronze it.
I'd fail. That's so bleh.
I thought the ending was shit. But I mean, I liked some of the jokes that came out of it. I thought they were fine enough.
True, some. It's so disjointed from everything else, and just that
Well,
ending,
yeah, it has nothing to do with the main story and doesn't connect to it in any significant way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's got that point of going back to the status quo.
Yeah.
Ay, caramba. I'm like, oh, that's just sad.
Yeah.
But without any kind of hint of irony or acknowledgement if that's what they're doing. But again, it has acknowledgement, but it's in the worst possible way.
Yeah, it's totally we're just totally hitting the reset button. So what? What are you going to do about it? Call us out on it? We already did it. So what?
What do you do? Get on the internet and complain? Is that, come at me, bro.
So anyway, going back to the robot story. So Homer in his first match just gets sliced by Buzz Killington or whatever it was. And
Buzzkill.
I do, and the song montage with That's My Boy. Hadn't heard that since the old slot car, the boxcar racer. Soapbox racer? Yeah.
Soapbox racer, yep.
Yeah, good to hear that song again. That sort of song, like, I don't even know who does it or who it was, but it feels so Simpsons.
Well, it feels very, being pushed under the swing of an old oak tree as the sun goes down and you play catch. It's got that very homey feel about it.
It's so sepia toned.
Yeah.
Like, if you can hear music in color, that's...
But not like old-timey sepia, good memory sepia. Yeah, that's definitely what that is.
With a lot of good gags like killing Reverend Lovejoy's centipede robot and killing the Ralpho cop.
Well, if you ever wanted to watch a letterbox murder a child, that's the closest you'll ever get. That's a weirdly fun line.
And I do like that when the Ralph bot is shooting up Homer, that the little bit of animation where they cut inside the mailbox and Homer just gets these tiny little like circular chunks taken out of him from the bullets. Like it does, gives you the seriousness that is getting hurt, but not like the serious that is actually getting shot by a gun.
It's a very Looney Tunes kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like he would then take a drink and leak.
Yeah. Act 3 starts out with Homer being, pretty beaten up at this stage by all the robot stuff. And
He's like, my kid loves me.
yeah, and then Bart does the whole, oh, bullies, my dad was about to tell me something about my robot. And I liked that they had that weird, forced moment of them all sitting around, looking up at him all, oh, what are you going to say, inspiring adult?
Yeah, I'm about to feel something. This will change the course of my young life, except for, Kearney, who's already old.
Yeah, who already should be giving advice to his kid, or kids probably at
I
this
sleep
stage.
in a drawer.
But I felt like they undercut it with the whole Homer telling the bullies to raise him joke. That really fell flat for me.
I never remember it.
Fair enough. So anyway, Homer has to do the big grand finale match against
Frink's robot.
And Frink has a son now that they.
Back it up, man.
Oh, man!
My wife is gonna kill me.
So
when he puts it in the little in the flying saucer, is it?
Yeah. It's a little prop plane in the.
Now your toddler can enjoy the mysteries of flight.
Yeah.
My wife is gonna kill me. It is at odds with other times when he's takes the
desperate to get women and all that.
or drinks the Simpsons and Sons love tonic and is like, well, maybe we want to go back. Mind you, hey, maybe he's just a player.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got burgers at home and he's out for steak. I don't know.
Well, actually, yeah, maybe that's not the same kid. Maybe that's another kid.
Yeah. Well, it's old enough to be right, but again,
Yeah.
Simpsons live in a time vacuum.
That's true.
So how's that kid growing?
It's not.
It's not.
It's all Frink's experiment.
It's not from Springfield.
Frink's is creating this whole thing and keeping them in the time vacuum with science.
And I figured out that's how Sideshow Bob's kid is older because he went to Italy. He didn't stay in Springfield. That's the time loop. That's how Sideshow Bob has an aged kid.
Yeah.
Just to bring that back to that fucking terrible episode.
If you ever want to tie continuity with it,
I'm just saying. Simpsons conspiracies, man. We uncover them here.
Hashtag Sky Grandma.
Hashtag through the looking glass.
And Homer has a great line where he's pulling shards out and he goes, that's what we call in the industry a biggie.
Yeah, and I do can you do my back?
Yeah, with the magnets.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good bit.
And Kill Hamid IE, that was it.
Kill Hamid ID / what was his
Gaseous
Smashiest Clay or something? Both names are Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, pretty good.
Throughout his career. Yeah, good reference. I liked it.
And I like the gag with Bart looking at Frink's robot and going, okay, he's got one weak point. And then Frink's solders on the iron and it is now his strongest point.
Hey, it is a good bit.
And yeah, I like the whole Bart realizing thing and being, this is so cool. I can't believe you'd recklessly endanger yourself so much.
It's nice to have any idiot can throw together some bolts and circuits. You risk your life, Dad.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's not the Dad, you suck so much kind of moment.
Yeah, how could you lie to me like this?
Yeah,
and
it's
you made me look like a fool. Any of that.
It's joy at the reveal rather than disappointment, and I do like that. It's a nice change from what you kind of expected would happen.
Yeah. And then, Frink's robot grabs him out of the resting bay and then smashes him and then pops him out of the mailbox like a pimple. I love this bit of animation, even though it makes no fucking sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. And then due to Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics,
as mentioned in those books, most of them not good. Is that true? Is that apt? I don't read books.
They're just... It's often the same thing.
Right.
So if you dig the same thing, it's cool.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So like a robo soap opera.
A lot like Philip K. Dick in the sense that his ideas are great, his characters are bullshit.
Fair enough.
This has been science fiction literature on the Simpsons Index.
And so, I love all the Frink's robot pampering him because he's obeying the law of robotics. And then the announcers... Where's the first saying that? Where's any rule saying that
a human cannot be a robot? That's rule 1.
Rule 1: human cannot be a robot.
No, I do like that. That's a good bit.
Found out the greatest killing machine is man.
Yeah. I mean, falls short of Futurama's great bit. I put all the most evil animals together, make most evil animal of all time. It turns out it's man.
Yep.
But the scary door exempt. I said, okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a really stupid bit where Homer's like, it's like my nightmare come true, where he dreams he's getting an Oscar, but then goes too long so he gets killed. It's like, That's dumb.
It was a very flat family cutaway gag. I loved he's killing him softly with his saw.
With his saw.
With his saw. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so. It's one of those bits that should be dumb, but I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like Bart's line of Homer goes, "Hey, I made this robot. I can do that. I made you. Yeah, great workmanship, Dad." And his elbow like turns the other direction.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. There was some bad Wiggum and Flanders gags at the start of the episode. The one where Flanders is like, "Ooh, bitchin' back," and Roddy and Toddy like, "Daddy swore," and he's like, "Oh, lighten up." And
Yeah, that's very not Flanders. That's weird. This is it doesn't fit. It's weird.
And yeah, like
this is the Flanders who was like, "Sometimes I let Todd buy red hearts with a cartoon devil on the front."
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that must mean it. Oh, and I liked how Milhouse at the top of the episode was excitedly running to see Bart. There were just some sort of nifty bits of animation with him avoiding the sprinklers, jumping fences and stuff, and then just get fucking annihilated by Homer. Like,
boom.
It's a bit cruel, but you know,
cruel,
it's Milhouse.
Yeah, it's not a bit cruel, and Milhouse go hand in hand. So,
time for the questionnaire. So storyline, it was an AB. You had the A of the Robot Rumble and the B of the Catstein. But do you have any memories about how this episode influenced your life since watching it?
There is a song, and I can't remember what it is, and I've tried Googling it, that literally has the lyrics Chief Knucker Homer in it.
Really?
I cannot remember what it is because I tried Googling it, and I can't find it, but I know it's out there. It's some kind of pseudo hip-hop rap, hibbity-hobbity, bippity-bobbity song that goes, Chief Knucker Homer, and I'm like, interesting. Did you
really?
That? Yeah. I mean, if you want me to Google on the Simpsons index, I'll try again, but I couldn't find it.
If I couldn't find who sings That's My Boy.
I'm surprised you couldn't find that, but all right.
Anyway. Yeah, now this episode influenced my life. I don't know. It's a season 15, so I saw it pretty late in the piece. Like, probably out around 2004, so we wouldn't have seen it till 2006 anyway, so...
By then I was a man who no longer needed my dad.
I have done being influenced.
Yeah. I can drive a car, I can spit. I'm a man now.
You're a man. How many times do you think you've watched this episode?
2 or 3.
Okay, I'd say this is easy in the 15 or 20s for me. Like, because when I do put on season 15 or whatever, there's episodes that I'll intentionally go to, and this is one of them. Like...
It's more fun than it should be, I'll say that.
Yeah. If you could put this in a playlist, what's the theme? So, Bart and Homer episodes.
Homer jobs, maybe? And it's not quite a job, but it's close.
Homer doing stupidly death-defying things.
Yeah, continuity bullshit.
Yeah, continuity fuckers, yeah.
Armin Tanzarian, there's only 2 episodes.
Yeah. Wackiness. Pretty damn wacky.
Yeah, I mean, Homer going against a bunch of robots with nothing but a mallet.
Yeah, and all the cats dying as well. You know, logically, a cat would actually survive a 2-story drop. Like,
hey, we've tested this.
At more than 50% rate, the cats will survive that drop.
Yeah, 62%. That's pretty good.
So yeah, I would say, the wackiness was definitely present, but I think it sort of balanced out whether it was for the detriment.
It's not to a detriment, no, because again, you're having fun watching it. It's kind of dumb, Chief Knucker Homer, but you don't care. You're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, it's dumb fun, Simpsons. So the heart, it tried.
Yeah, it's the idea is there. And I think it comes around nicely with it's so cool that you put yourself in danger for me rather than you couldn't build a robot.
Yeah.
But even then, you don't quite feel it. It's just it's like you've read it, but you don't feel it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a stop sign. You know it's there. You just don't care. And then the Lisa cat thing. It's because there's such a wash at the end that it's like even if you felt something. You know, you don't care at the end. It's gone.
Well, yeah, now that you mention it, that sort of does make me dislike it a bit more because as each cat dies and she gets a new one, it's treated a lot less seriously. Like when Snowball died, the first cat at the top of the episode, like they had the funeral scene, she's crying, she's reading that cute little cat math poem, and yeah, Marge is getting in on the grief with remembering Cinnamon and all that, and
Cinnamon.
like they really bring the episode down for a bit, but with each subsequent cat they care a little less, and to the point at the end where like, let's go back to the status quo.
Just like with people.
So did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Oh, just. I'm going to say. There's just enough Bart Homer for it to work, and a little bit of Bart Milhouse. Lisa's mostly on point, but like you said, it matters so less and less that story gets worse and worse the more it goes on.
Yeah.
Just is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, just. Yeah. But, I mean, integrity-wise, Homer and Bart are very on point.
No one's, like, it makes sense that Homer can't build a robot, so he does it himself. That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, want to watch this one again?
Kind of. With, like, some popcorn and some more beer.
Yeah. If you had a theme of good episodes going and it popped up, you're like, this one.
Yeah, me exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't turn it off, I'll put it that way.
All right, let's rank it. All right, I'll kick it off. I'm giving it a silver.
Wow.
It is by far not the greatest, but like I feel it just stands above a bunch of stuff that I've given bronze, and I sort of feel about it similarly actually to how I felt about the spelling episode last time. That it had a good enough story, good enough jokes, but there were a lot of elements letting it down, especially in relation to the B story. So, yeah, I mean, it could have been a gold if the cat story was better, I guess. Because, now that I think about it, like, there's not a lot I could knock down about the Homer story. But anyway, so silver from me. How about you, BT?
I'm sitting at like a Patissa bronze.
Really?
I'm going to go low bronze.
It's actually a bronze, but let the viewers know that it's a reluctant.
It just makes it over. Well, I've done that before in other ones where I'm like, it's a high failure or a high participant. This is just, to me, it just makes it a bronze just because that B story is just drag and it goes nowhere. And I do enjoy the Naka Homer stuff, but it lacks something for me. Maybe it's jokes, maybe it's hard. It just, a little bit more and I could have been happy. So, but I'm not. So, bronze. We'll give it a bronze.
Cool. And just, a bit of time on the podcast. So last week when I was doing the index and updating the website and everything at thesimpsonsindex.com.
At thesimpsonsindex.com.
Thesimpsonsindex.com. But at Simpsons Index on Twitter. No the. And also Facebook now. I've got a Facebook page.
Are we the Facebook?
Not on the Facebook, but we are the Simpsons Index on a Facebook page. Not
I'm
going
to go like that now.
Sorry, what was I going to say?
I have literally no idea.
Sorting out the index last week, and I noticed when we did the Ranking the Simpsons ride, there were 2 participants and 2 bronzes. Now, with my...
Just bronze.
Yeah. Now, with my best to worst section, I give the whole dull and shiny thing. Now, for the moment, I've gone with the theory that if something gets completely split down the middle votes, so in the instance of this, a silver and a bronze, or in the Simpsons ride, a participant and a bronze, that it should go to the dull of the highest ranking to sort of say, give it the benefit of the doubt.
So shiny bronze.
Yeah, so if Jag was still awake and he gave it a bronze as well, it would be a shiny bronze, but if he gave it a silver, it would be a dull silver with your bronze and my silver. But in the case where it's a 50-50...
scaling down.
Oh, no. It
scales up.
It's up, but the lower up.
Yeah,
so it'd be a dull silver.
You round up, yeah. But, you know what, I'm comfortable with that.
Because, I mean, it's splitting hairs where it falls anyway, and...
This what we have to do is a review amalgamation of Simpsons experts.
Yeah.
If we dare call ourselves that, which we do.
Clearly. Because we never have to Google or anything.
I've spent 10,000 hours doing this. It's cool.
Easily.
Yep.
God, spend 10,000 hours on the first 10 seasons alone.
1,000 hours per season to go. effect all the way, yo.
No band has called
Already
themselves that yet.
Doppler effect. I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, pretty sure they have.
We are the Doppler effect.
And we're back. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Recording for a while.
Yeah.
And we are back. We just watched Season 9, Episode 16.
In accordance with the prophecy.
In accordance with the prophecy, yeah. The episode title is Dumbbell Indemnity, a.k.a. the one where Mo fucks Helen Hunt. I might want to keep that, but I might not, so I'll go. The one
Keep
where
it.
Mo dates Helen Hunt.
No. Don't pull your punches.
Yeah.
He fucks her right in her Helen cunt. Guys, what'd you think?
I think you're going to hell.
I'm going to Helen Hunt.
Checkmate. Boom. Anyway, what I think, it's a pretty good time, man. It's a pretty good time.
Yeah, so, that's basically the synopsis of the episode. Mo dates Helen Hunt and tries to constantly woo her with...
Renee, as voiced by Helen Hunt.
Yeah, but we're all thinking Helen Hunt in our head.
Yeah, I mean, my first note is, hey, remember when Helen Hunt was in everything? This.
Yep. Yeah, because I wasn't mad about her and mad about you, but I was mad about Renee.
And you were mad about Shu.
As in Elizabeth Shue. How did you know?
I've seen your tattoo of Elizabeth Shue.
It's my Elizabeth tattoo.
Mostly done in blue.
There's every chance I'll get that done now. My tattoos are that stupid. So the episode kicks off good and proper with a couple of non sequiturs, but coming back to that, the episode is such a solid through line throughout. This is the only time where we get any hints of the first couple of scenes in a Simpsons episode don't matter. This is where Bart and Lisa are having the Texas snowball fight, which is where they're pecking ice cream at each other.
Because it doesn't snow in Texas. Yep, and where do we even go from it? Because my first note after Helen Hunt in everything is welding mask plus beating, which is where Homer flips down a welding mask and just starts beating on the water heater with a wrench.
Well, the segue between those two scenes is Homer's like, hey, you kids shouldn't be ice cream fighting. You need a bath. And they're like, we can't have a bath. The hot water heater is on the fritz.
That's fine. That's enough.
Yeah,
and then, the whole house is spewing water. Marge shows up and
I love the animation of that. I think it just
great.
looks so pretty, all those blues and purples.
It's gorgeous.
And when they do animation bits that sort of exist outside of the normal Simpsons solid color inside the lines animation, it does make a difference. Anyway, sorry.
No, I agree, and it looks good. And then, the second Marge comes home, she's like, wow. And then Homer's like, see you, Moe's. Boom.
Yeah.
That's why he goes to Moe's, and that's where we go. Mo being...
To Moe's, where I go to avoid Marge, basically.
But it's got the continuity of Mo being lonely, and Homer saying, we're going to take you out and meet women. I bring that up simply because I really like Homer's going out jacket.
Yeah.
It's like this checked kind of green... It's like his watch. It's only there when he needs it.
Yeah. His suave. Yeah, because that's the sign at Stu's Disco. You must be this swarthy to enter.
Yeah.
And it has Sanji, Hapu's brother, I think.
It's like Marge's fancy dress is the same dress but with sleeves.
Yeah.
Or a Chanel suit.
They're in the bar and Mo has that very unsuccessful attempt at picking up, and Homer goes, okay, I won't lie, a lot of people saw that.
It's good. I do can I have this dance? Sure, take it. It's all yours.
Yeah, that's what yeah. And then the Bacardi rap as well. I think that must be an American thing, because I've seen that come up in Arrested Development before, but I've never seen it out in bars in Australia.
Or have you and not noticed? By the way... Tequila Blue for all your indexing needs.
Oh, yes, and in addition to Mary's, we are advertising Tequila Blue tonight. How are you enjoying it? Because you said you weren't a fan before.
And I remain not a fan.
Ah.
It's acceptable.
Well, actually, let's rank this tequila. I'd give it a gold.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Get better opinions.
Look, man,
This is why you don't run the tequila index. That is acceptable at best. That is like participant. You've drunken better shit. I've been there when you've drunk better shit.
I have drunk the finest tequilas in the finest taqueritas.
Espolon is like silver gold.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, it's a bronze silver then. It's a bronze.
If you must, but I mean, Espolon is silver. Car is gold. Something like what was it? The Espolon Reserve Special Reserve.
Yeah,
that was freaking platinum.
Super cubic zirconia.
That was amazing.
And then El Jimador and Jose Cuervo and
Casa Noble.
What's that other one? The 6 shooters one? All fucking failures.
No. I'm thinking of.
Casa Noble's great.
Casa Noble. I'm thinking of good ones. I was. Because I've avoided the bad ones for so many years, I can't remember either name.
The Tequila Index.
Brought to you by the Simpsons Index. Brought to you by Googling on the Simpsons Index.
Oh, man, I'd actually really like to start the Tequila Index.
Yes.
The Tequila... Okay, so this is like the backdoor pilot of the Tequila Index, and I've rated Tequila Blue a solid silver, and you're giving it a participant.
Yep.
Which averages out to a bronze.
I am so on board. It's like a free upgrade to first class, long distance. I'm on board. That's a terrible metaphor. Shut up, Ben.
That's all right. Okay, so let's get out of the bar. So Mo didn't get anything from the bar, and then a sympathetic ear goes, "Oh, you poor thing, have a flower," and then we get that whole great sequence with Mo somehow weirdly striking it out with
not striking out.
No. Mo weirdly having a great rapport with this woman.
Yeah, with the honeyed words of Helen Hunt.
Yeah, because even though he goes, I don't know, you might have some weird scars or fake ass or something. And, I like how she goes, my name is Renee. And he goes, who cares? I got a date.
It is a wonderful moment, yeah.
Yeah, and you really feel the sweetness of her, being sympathetic to the gargoyle that is Mo.
I also appreciate that later on she says it started out as sympathy, but then I kind of realize he's a great guy. That's nice. It develops the relationship beyond the, well, you're just kind of sad and lame, so I'll go out with you once.
Yeah, and
gives no value as well.
And that built up in that beautiful double date scene with Marge and Homer, and tailing off the monkeys montage. It must be the 5th time this song's been used in The Simpsons as a montage, and the 3000th
it's true.
It's been used as a montage song, but it works.
You say 5 times? I'm a believer.
Oh, you monkey. I should send you to Davy Jones's closet. Locker. Fuck!
If you just let it lie, man, it would have been fine. That's not even his real hat.
What else have you got for this?
I do like, there's a nice continuity where they talk about Mo's gargoyle face to Renee, and he's like, well, I used to box.
Yeah.
There's a nice link into, they used to call me Kid Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Then Kid Handsome. Then Kid Presentable. Then Kid Gruesome. And finally, Kid Mo. I like that. It's a good little nudge back to the old ones.
Yeah, and so during this point in the storyline, like, Mo is, like, losing sight of real life and, like, just spoiling Renee and paying for everything. And and I love the bit where he tries to call in the bar tab, everyone leaves, and it's like, that's a tacky joke, but then Barney dives out the window, and, like, for Barney's physicality, I think it's a funny thing.
It works. It's a good bit. Like how he only catches Homer to get his help as Homer is also trying to slink out.
And has stolen some his ashtray. And there's a couple of great lines there. Who gave you your keys when you were too drunk to drive? You.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there are a bunch of really good lines in this. There's one of my all-time favorites, which is, I'll have the most expensive thing stuffed with the second most expensive thing. Coming right up. Lobster stuffed with tacos. Homer, why all the black? Why all the food? Why anything?
Which, lobster stuffed with tacos we used in Dave Plus One. It's a joke that you can't even see. You can't even see on film, but, like, Beach,
not even if
man,
you pause it.
Prop Master General.
Yeah. To catch everyone up, first episode, there was a fake menu that no one can even see on camera that has lobster stuffed with tacos as one of the menu items. Watch Dave Plus One on DavePlus1.com or Dave Plus One on YouTube. Anyway, we also have Hail to the Chimp, the movie Homer goes to see while stealing Moe's car badly.
Yeah. So just backing up, sorry. So in that scene where Moe's trying to convince Homer and he goes, I don't know, what would Marge say? Homer, I insist you steal that car.
Yeah, it's kind of like when he's trying to convince himself to buy the assassin's shoes and he's like, Homer, I ordered you to buy those shoes. You're the boss.
Yep. Oh, okay. A little bit of a repeat joke.
Yeah, it's a little, but I like it because it's a good bit and they haven't done it for like 4 seasons at this point, so fair enough.
Yeah. So anyway, that sets in motion the whole Moe setting Homer up to steal Moe's car to trash it, and Moe will get the insurance money. And I love the line that Homer mentions because Moe only says like, "Oh, this is going to get me $5,000," and I'm like, even in 90s money, that's not much. And then Homer goes, "Your whole troubles will be over for a couple of months."
Yep.
And
a temporary fix.
Yeah. And so, that's the good thing about this episode. It's following this through line, and it's surprisingly meaty.
Yeah, it works really, really well, actually. It's, again, it's just peppered with so many great credible moments.
Yeah. Oh, how about that's button 7A? Ooh, that's sweet.
Yeah, what about must kill Moe?
Whee! Hawaii? You're going to Hawaii? I want to go to Hawaii.
Who's going to Hawaii? You have to get me out. They're 10 minutes to get to listen to the exercise yard.
Yeah.
The exercise yard.
And just pointing out another thing, what I like about the classic over the new ones is the whole over-explaining of jokes thing. And this is a great moment of an understated joke is when Homer is going to steal Moe's car as per the plan, and Snake is hot wiring it. And it's like in that moment, Homer's like, "Oh no, you don't." Takes the car and he's like, "Haha, that fool, he thought he was going to steal the dough." And it's like they didn't over explain like why like Homer should have let it be.
Yeah,
he figured it out without saying why it was a bad thing.
That fool was trying to steal Moe's car the way I'm trying to steal Moe's car.
Well, I guess I could have let him steal the car and then wow.
Yeah, it's understated.
It's the difference between a doll joke and a wah joke.
I concur.
So and then that brings us to Hail to the Chimp.
Well, Homer thinks he's got enough time to stop and watch a movie, and it's...
I've read your policy, and it's all retribution.
He got that for not hailing to the chimp. It's so dumb and so... And then, after that, Homer thinks, the plan was to put the car on the railroad tracks and have it smashed. He misses the train because he fell asleep watching Hail. How do you fall asleep watching Hail to the Chimp? I don't know.
It must
Unless
have
it's
been
like a 4-hour director's cut. But anyway, so he decides the best thing to do is just drive it into the lake within full view of the cruise ship the Moe is on.
Oh, and I love the animation of this bit.
I love the animation, and I love just the very Looney Tunes gag of drives it off the edge, sinks, drives it towards the edge, jumps out, hits a rock which rolls him directly back into the car, falls off, sinks, floats for a second, then sinks immediately, stops.
Slight relief.
Whew, rolls forward, sinks even further. It's such a classic, Looney Tunes animation bit. It's fantastic, and it looks great, and everything is hilarious in it.
And because Moe pointed out the park job and the rubber daisy floats up, and the police are all like, "Oh, it can't last forever." Puts Homer in jail. That lets the whole "I want to go to Hawaii" bit.
Hawaii.
And so this is the turning point of like Act 3 where Moe has clearly gone too far. He was just about to do a bit of dodgy business now, and now his actions are having serious consequences. His friend's in jail. Yep. Like, this is great storytelling here.
Yeah, it was all, sure, it was crime, but it was crime done with the best of intentions, aka a woman. And now his best friend's in jail. And it's, where's your conscience? In Hawaii? That sounds delightful.
Yeah, and so he's packing for Hawaii, and he's packing a ukulele and pineapples and a Speedo. All things he can get in Hawaii.
Especially the pineapple.
Yeah. They grow on trees there.
Springfield, known for its pineapples. Yeah. Show Hawaii how it's done.
But yeah, they do the whole, Homer's ghost showing up and the great gag of, oh, you're not dead, you're in jail. Hey, that's right. Hey, whatever, it doesn't matter. And
Wait a second, I'm in jail because of you. Yeah.
and also the good joke with Homer's ghost, which is Moe's impression of him still stealing the beer. Like,
Yeah.
he clearly holds him in high regard.
Oh, absolutely. And then,
And I love the joke with Homer, how he does escape from prison as well with the Molman bit. Fuck, I didn't write it down.
Yeah, Hans Molman, who wanted to, book for you, sir, and he picks up the how to tunnel out of prison. He goes, this could be useful. Thump. It's just a good, very quick but very good Hans Molman bit.
Yeah.
That man is only 31 years old.
Yeah.
Alcohol, man. That's what it does to you.
We don't endorse it on this podcast, but our other
Blue.
podcast. And Homer's photo shoot thing with the mugshot as well. I wrote that down as a high
Prison
point.
photographer, yeah. He's like, sparkle for me. Homer, yeah. He's like, sparkle for me, baby. Now turn. Yes, that's it. That's beautiful. It's like,
and then Wiggum
Yes.
with the the fingerprinting, and he's like, "Oh, your fingerprints are like snowflakes. They're both very pretty." Like, I just like it's the whole police like
being very sentimental.
Yeah.
I also like, your fingerprints are like a snowflake. Instead of being everyone is unique, it's like, they're very pretty.
Yeah.
Look at that swirl.
Man, there's a lot of good things in this episode.
No, it is a lot funnier than I originally gave it credit for going into it, so yeah.
Yeah, right. I picked this one because I wanted to save my original intended episode for when Shag was awake.
What was that intended episode?
Homer Defined.
I don't know what that means.
That's the one where Homer
Homer?
avoids the nuclear meltdown by playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
Yeah. So you look up to Paula Homer in the dictionary?
Yeah. There's a very important scene in that episode which ties to something to do with the Simpsons index, but that'll have to wait for another time. Be hyped, people.
At this altitude, you have to maintain your gasps.
We're like not even 200 meters above sea level in New Zealand. Anyway.
Not even 200. Okay. In the end, when they move, because Moe's tavern is obviously on fire by the end of the episode, and Homer's like, don't worry, I know what you can do. And they've set up Moe's tavern in the Simpsons house. And Bart goes, there's a balloon machine in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Jokes that we clearly did not get back in the day.
And Marge is like, kids, I don't want you to touch anything in this house anymore.
So other things I liked about the episode is the final turn where Moe does confess all his wrongdoings to Renee, and he goes, I've got a plan. I'll call the police commissioner clearing Homer.
She's like, yeah.
And then we'll go to the graveyard and steal a couple of corpses.
Oh, God.
That was a great ramp up. And even though it was wacky that he started pouring brandy and setting the bar on fire, I felt like it was just like a natural progression.
It was earned wackiness, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I preempted that by writing down leaves when things get hard, Renee. But it's not like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Second, your significant, well, not even significant, your Lavelle is like, I'm gonna pour some brandy around. Why don't you get some corpses and we'll just swap clothes with them? You're like, backing away.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's legit, Renee.
Back away, not today.
Also, when the bar is on fire and Moe's like, Homer, thank God, I need your help. He's like, I'll help you die.
Yeah. And then they both collapse from the smoke, and then Barney comes in and goes, the boss! And then there's that great silhouette gag where it looks like Barney carrying both of them, and it's
He's
two
carrying
beer
two-
kegs. But he does the right thing in the end, saves them, and then Moe's got like that.
Saves them both and 2 cases of dark.
Oh yeah, under his he's looping them with his fingers. And then I get like the rhythm and the melody of this one. My poor bar. And then Homer goes, oh Mo, which to the
I
end of
couldn't
the
stay mad at you. You get me drunk.
thus leading us to the end of the episode where the Simpsons house is now Moe's.
Which bugs me because it sounds like for a minute they're playing John Lee Hooker's One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer, but the lyrics are wrong and it's at the cover. It's not good.
Oh, it's like a parallel import sort of.
Yeah.
Like they're saying like 1 vodka, 1 tequila, 1 gin.
Pretty much. It bothers me.
1 shandy.
Shandy.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right, time for the questionnaire. It was an A storyline throughout, a non sequitur beginning.
It was an A that branched. It's one of those ones, I think.
Branching A with a non sequitur beginning that only lasted 2 scenes, so it wasn't like one of those first act non sequiturs.
Yeah, it is not the stainless steel beautiful Homer at bat starts where it just flows seamlessly and hilariously to the main plot line.
Yeah.
Listen to the Homer at bat Simpsons Index. It's amazing.
Episode 4, I want to say.
Pretty early,
because I wanted to do an episode 3 one tonight because we haven't done an episode 3 since then.
Really?
Yeah, because episode 1 we did Bart the Lover, and then episode 4 we did Homer at the Bat. Since then, haven't done an episode 3 episode.
More episode 3s.
That's what the crowd wants. We'll give it to them.
I don't think that's what they want, but shut up.
So, any memories of this episode and how it influenced your life or anything?
I do remember going to school the next day and being like, must kill Mo.
Yeah.
Just anytime you ride anything, you just kind of quietly say that under your breath.
Yeah, there was actually a moment at... Sorry. There was actually a moment at school for me where I remember anytime Hawaii would come up.
Hawaii?
I want to go Hawaii. Who's going to Hawaii?
Am I going to Hawaii?
Yeah. Like, that's what had happened. And then, you'd find a surprising people went on vacation to Hawaii when you could use that quote.
Am I going to Hawaii?
Yeah. But I remember this episode back in the day, so it's a season 9, so it's about 98, probably 99 by the time it hit our shores.
Yeah. I enjoyed saying hail to the chimp.
Yep.
And occasionally if you saw something bad happen to someone, you'd be like, you got that because you didn't hail to the chimp.
So, play count. How many times do you think you've watched this one?
48.7.
Yeah, I won't lie. Realistically, when we're going off the how many times per year do you think you watched it? I think this one's at least once a year, like counting for the years that I didn't watch it for the years that I watched it a bunch of times. Like, yeah, this is a good one that I'd happily revisit.
Yep.
Any jokes you only noticed on this viewing? Well, the balloon machine in the bathroom one,
not
definitely.
Not this viewing, but yeah, it was definitely a latter viewing that were... what was this, 90 what?
98, 99.
So we would have been 15, 16?
No. I was 12.
Oh.
13. So 13, 14 for you, because you're an 85er.
Yes, well, I would have understood balloons in bathrooms by then. I had maybe seen a couple of bathrooms by then.
Hey, you'd probably done, year 6 sex ed by then, I was still
I knew how to put a balloon on a banana.
That's what she said. Speaking of fruit and vegetables, I didn't get the cauliflowering gag back in the day where he talks about his ears.
Yeah.
Way to segue from from a sexual joke to a
super hyper well done, man.
Thank you.
If you haven't called attention to it.
I tend to.
Yeah,
the cauliflowering ear gag, I didn't get that back in the day, and since watching UFC and wondering those questions, hey, what the fuck's up with them fighters' ears?
Cauliflower. Eat too much of it, you get weird ears, kids.
And actually, oh my god, I didn't even make the connection then. I used to be a big fan of Full Frontal back in the day, and especially Sean McAuliffe's character, Milo Kerrigan. Do you remember him?
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, it was basically, yeah.
We're sorry, anyone who wasn't born in Australia in the 1980s.
Yeah. And yeah, one of the sketches was him promoting his brand of vegetable snacks called Collie Snacks. So, now I've made that connection that it was cauliflower ears, and he's selling a cauliflower snack. But that was the whole gag. It was like, this is a snack of fresh boiled cauliflower. And collie snack. I
feel bad now.
Every chance I'll edit this.
Please do.
Any other jokes you noticed on this viewing? Probably not really.
No, I understood everything this time. I do want to bring up again lobster stuffed with tacos. Because it's great.
It's the perfect gag.
Yeah. If there was a restaurant that says lobster stuffed with tacos, I would go there.
Right?
Yeah. Hopefully that place is called Thai Good You Like Shirt. And we can get everything at once.
If you could put Dumbbell Indemnity into a playlist, what would it be?
Lobster stuff with tacos. Monkeys references? No, monkey references.
Yeah, episodes with and then I saw her face as a montage. I can't name any at the top of my head. I feel like there's 5.
But it's out there a lot.
Yeah.
Homer
But yeah, definitely like quality Mo episodes.
Crimes, Mo episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, because this would like pair nicely with the season 20 episode where he dates the little person. Like, that's a really quality episode for that era as well.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. We'll find out on episode 53 of The Simpsons Index.
Stop doing that to yourself. You're never going to remember. I've met you. You don't remember these things.
Tend not to. Sorry. Playlist, I think, that pretty much covers it. Mo episodes, Homer Crimes, and monkey humor.
Monkey references.
Yeah, so this and Monkey Trauma Center for...
Look, maybe it's time we told everyone the truth. That all those monkeys we set in the face came back super intelligent. No, I don't think we'll be doing that.
Yep. Classic. So, wackiness. I think the wackiness was there and earned.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really rely on it. I suppose the Homer sinking the car is the wackiest bit, where he jumps out of it, rolls perfectly back in. Everything else is pretty grounded.
Yeah, even him stealing the car and all that was all, like, based in reality sort of stuff. It was just, the whole car falling down the cliff thing and the silliness of that, and I guess the ghost Homer and Mo burning down the bar, but at that point you've earned the big moment.
Yeah, you've earned he's talking about the big plan of the insurance scam, and he's at this point desperate to show Renee the good life and get Homer out and like have the best of both worlds, and it makes sense within context. It's wacky still, but like you said, it's enough to be earned. It doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah, and even, like, Mo himself, his wackiness, where, he even, like, they present him as a racist they present him as a rapist in, like, off-the-cuff humor, whereas this one, like,
Eyebrow up, what?
Huh?
Eyebrow up, what?
Oh, like, they'll, cut to Mo for a second to make a joke. Well, I guess I like to rape women, waka waka,
What? No, I don't know.
Oh, it's littered throughout the new season. Like,
is it? Like,
I prefer girls who are on roofies, waka waka.
Does he actually say that, or are you just paraphrasing?
I am paraphrasing, but I will now aim to prove it to you.
Yeah.
In episode 42 with this.
God! Because I know he's got that creepy stalker thing every now and then.
Mo, a.k.a. the guy behind the bushes.
Yeah, like they say, my name is Mo, or hey you behind the bushes.
Yeah.
Or, our next bachelor is Mo, who likes women who take their clothes off for money.
Yeah.
It's like, he's creepy and he's sleazy. I never thought of him as criminally so.
Yeah. But anyway, what I was saying is that as far as wackiness with him goes, is they sort of pepper it throughout the episode. So he's a bit off and he's a bit left of center and he's not the standard desirable man or whatever. But at the end of the episode, when he goes full blown, let's steal corpses, like
you get that full troll creepiness back.
Yeah, and even then you feel like that moment's earned, that he's just sort of going off the deep end because this woman made him that crazy.
I mean, come on, give the man a break. He's a self-made immigrant.
Yeah.
Runs his own business. It's respectable. Also, a former boxer who's a little bit ugly for the wear. But, that was back when they let you use the stinger. Yeah. And they don't let you use that anymore.
Went from riches to rags.
And then had a goddamn story about the fucking rag.
In the episode, Mo goes from rags to riches. Anyway, so the heart of this episode, I feel like you think the heart's between Mo and Renee, but it turns out the heart's between Homer and Mo.
Yeah, it's between bartender and boozehound. That's where all the heart in the world is.
How could he stay mad at him?
I want to see that rom-com now.
Is that what they call it? Yeah, bromance film.
Yeah.
Of the bartender and the boozehound.
Yep. Beautiful, really. I'm trying to think of a good title. Hang on.
did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay. The only reason it might not have felt like an episode of The Simpsons because The Simpsons weren't really in it. It was mostly Moe.
It was mostly Moe.
But Homer was there, and, I think that's why they might have had the non-sequitur beginning, so that Bart, Lisa, Marge could show up and at least get a paycheck.
Have some screen time. That's fair enough.
Yeah. But, it's not like The Simpsons haven't done non-Simpsons family stories before and had success with them much like this one.
Well, it's one where you don't feel them missing. You're like, well, I'm bored. What's everyone else doing? You're entertained enough that I didn't even really think about it until you mentioned it. It was, it felt enough like The Simpsons I didn't miss the actual Simpsons.
Yeah. Okay, so would you watch this episode again?
Yes, I would, Kent.
All right, and as would I. So let's rank this thing. Kick it off for me, Beach.
I did start off silver. I kind of think I'm going gold on this one. There's enough really good quotable moments. It's a solid, entertaining story throughout. They don't pander to the guest voice actor. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's funny, and story holds together really well. I convinced myself. Gold. Gold.
There was moments that I was actually, wow, is this Cubics Connie? Is this QZ right now? But no, it never really hit
not
those
quite
heights.
there. Yeah.
It still has a new Simpsons flavor about it, which is sort of
it's
undefinable.
It's one of those ones, and I think I've said it before, where I have no complaints, but it's not perfect, and I can't tell you exactly where that perfection lacks. It's just not there.
But you make a really good point with not pandering to the guest star. Like, Helen Hunt was used very effectively. There wasn't even a tongue-in-cheek mad about you reference, let alone an overt one.
Like, well, I'm feeling pretty mad about you.
Yeah, and...
You've got my heart in a twister. Guess I should pay it forward.
Hey, stop. You need to give me some Kevin Spacey. Wait.
What? This is as good as it gets.
There we go.
Kevin, what?
And maybe even one of those jokes would have been, funny or something, but they didn't do it. They didn't even bother.
I like that. It makes the guest star feel like they didn't write it around them. Like, occasionally you do have a great reference. There's like, in Mr. Bergstrom, when he goes, Mrs. Grapple, you're trying to seduce me. And it's that bit from The Graduate.
Yeah, and they just use the framing of the leg.
And the single line. But it's not overly pandered to. It's just a quick reference and you move on.
Yeah.
I appreciate that Helen Hunt is as fine as an actress she isn't anything as iconic as that. And so they just kind of who knows at what point she came on to, maybe she was an afterthought, maybe it was planned all along, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
well, I want to say Mad About You is in pretty full swing at this time, or maybe at least in its late seasons.
Yeah. No, I think pretty full swing. Maybe it did, I can't remember.
Because Twister was 96 as well.
But, out of the, 7-8 seasons, name a line from Mad About You.
Ira... Oh, no, I can. It's actually one of my favorite lines from a show that I hate is when Yoko Ono guest starred on it, and she goes, I want you to film the wind.
That's Yoko Ono.
Yeah, and it drives Paul Reiser's character crazy because I think he is a videographer.
He's
or
like
something.
an editor or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and she has this assignment for him to film the wind, and he goes crazy trying to outlive her artistic vision.
Just film a plastic bag, a la American Beauty. Kevin Spacey again. But it's you say a line from Seinfeld and we'll go on all day. Mm-hmm. These pretzels are making me thirsty. I don't want to be a pirate. Everything.
That's
What's
gold,
the deal
Jerry.
with? That's gold.
And much like Seinfeld, this episode's gold. Sorry, I was just trying to segue back. Your point was...
Yeah. My long-winded point here is that I feel like the best reason not to pander any of Helen Hunt's previous works is none of them are highly iconic.
Yeah.
Like The Graduate or like a bunch of other things they've referenced in time. Like Psycho or... The Simpsons reference a bunch of things, but they've always been heavily... they're unmissable. If you know the reference, you immediately pick it up. And there's nothing like that for Helen Hunt as far as I'm concerned. Other than, actually, all her quotes from other movies come from other characters. Like, you make me want to be a better man.
Yeah. And holy shit, there's a cow in that tornado.
You're a white caveman painted on walls. She didn't say any of them.
Anyway, so yeah, and solid gold all round, and I feel like it's well deserved. It's yeah, weird. I didn't think this was as good.
I was sitting here thinking, oh, it's gonna be a silver, I suppose, and then I go on, and there's so many lines. I still love lobster tacos.
Well, this is one where, like, okay, so for the three groupings that I've made for this podcast, the classic, the teens, and the HD era, like, I include season 9 in the classic era, which I think at least Cracked would disagree with because of the whole Principal and the Pauper episode with the Harmon Tanzarian
most people
thing.
Go to either 9 or 10. I don't think many people exclude 9. Some people / douchebags will, but
but this is one where it's still like very much classic Simpsons in spirit and in everything. And
mind you, when you said this one was in season 9, I was surprised. I thought it was a later season.
We're actually going through them, and like we were both kind of surprised at some, like
like
Dust Bus, the Lord of the Flies one.
Yeah, it feels like a 12 plus. I don't know why. Maybe that's so.
And then you have the one with the moon pie, and you're like, that wasn't like season 6, like.
Yeah, it's weird the parts that become iconic and become quotable that you just swear were earlier, because I've seen it 1,000 million times. It must have been like season 4.
Yeah.
But no, we're way later than you think, and occasionally way later in the terms of like Ribwitch or something like that.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I think that about does it for episode 23 of the Simpsons Index. BT and Danny, thank you for joining me in the dank tonight.
You're welcome.
I'm your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, not tapping out.
Goodbye. Good night. Gonna say goodbye again. Night.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes.
Okay.
Boom.
I'm ready for you, bro.
Boom. Boom.
Oh, fair music.
We got a little more experimental than that, man. We're all like, skip up, pop, hop, doop.
I love that jam.
Flip it up,
Love that jam.
ha ha ha, jam.
Love that jam.
Strawberry
Love that
jam.
Love